Hi, Concord here. Before we begin, I just wanted to say the following. My room acoustics and equipment will be different to yours, so the sound may differ, and sound is a personal and subjective experience. That out of the way, let us begin. The Rega P2. As of May 2024, the Rega P2, aka P2, is now available with an upgrade to the Nd3 Stylus. It's a moving magnet stylus and it will come factory fitted. Now, Rega have had the P2 out for some time. Their turntable models start with the P1, P2, P3, P6, P8 and their two higher end models. Today, I'm going to look at the P2, and what I'm also going to do is compare the original stylus it comes with, the Carbon, and compare it to the Nd3 stylus. Now, if you're getting into records or you're just wanting to upgrade and treat yourself, one thing I hear is, I don't want something cheap, but I don't want to spend thousands. I want something with good quality. I want a quality turntable. Then the P2 is something you can consider, and especially now that it comes with the upgrade to the Nd3 stylus. Now, something to note, Rega products are actually made in-house. It's handmade in the UK. Now, the P2 comes nicely packed. Nothing is loosely packed, so nothing's gonna move around in the box. The P2 has a new 24-volt low noise motor. And now that it has the added Nd3 moving magnet stylus, if you were to buy this stylus separately, you're looking at around $350 to $400 here in Oz. So if you want to know how this stylus performs and you're just wanting to upgrade to this stylus, well, stick around and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Now, the unit has come well packed, as I mentioned, and when you're setting up, you will see this piece of cardboard. Gently remove this piece of cardboard, and if the elastic band has come off the wheel, well, don't stress too much, that's fine. If it is off, just carefully place it around the wheel and onto the metal spindle. Try not to stretch the elastic band too much when doing this. Now, that metal spindle, that's where you can change the speed from 45 to 33. Now, most 12-inch records come in 33 RPM, so you won't need to change the speed that much at all. There are some 12-inch 45 RPM records, but not a lot of them. Remember the jukebox days? Well, a lot of those records were 45 RPM, and I still get the occasional 45 RPM, which is kind of like a single, and it only has one or two songs on it. But if you need to change the speed now and then, carefully lift the glass platter up and move the rubber band. And just do this ever so gently. Now, the P2 comes with RCA cables, so you don't have to go out and buy RCA cables. This turntable has you covered. So if you're wondering how it all goes, how it gets set up, well, you're going to go turntable RCAs to your phono preamp. And from your phono preamp, you go into the auxiliary input of your amp. Now, if you're not running a phono preamp, just go turntable RCAs straight into the phono preamp in your amp. I'm using the Rega MK5 phono preamp. I own it. I love it. I think it's awesome. I think it's punching above its weight. I will leave a link to my thoughts on it in the description below, and you can see the review I gave. I also did a comparison review as well. And before you ask, yes, it definitely comes with a dust cover. And the other little thing you don't have to worry about is grounding. This unit is self-grounded. The whole time I had this unit, the noise floor was pretty good. I had no background humming or static or hiss, and I love that it's self-grounded. Now, the P2 has decent rubber feet on the bottom that has plenty of clearance. So again, Rega are reducing any unwanted vibrations so the stylus can do its job. The glass platter. The P2 has a glass platter. The glass platter is nice, and why the glass platter? Well, having a slightly heavier platter reduces any unwanted vibrations. So that stylus can do what it's made to do better, and also the heavier platter helps keep those rotations more stable. You wouldn't think it, but it's an important component to the turntable. Platters play quite a role in maintaining speed, consistency, and preventing, as I said before, any unwanted vibrations reaching the stylus. Setting up the P2. Well, when you're getting into this range, you will have to set up the counterweight. Don't worry, the instructions are pretty good. I already know how to do it, but I wanted to follow the instructions to see if they give good enough steps to set up your counterweight for your stylus, and they do. As per the instructions, I got the stylus, I put the counterweight on, I slid it all the way on until I had the stylus hanging a mil off my record. When you get to that point, it's a half turn on the counterweight, and a half turn equals 1 gram of downforce. So a half turn, 180 degrees, is 1 gram of downforce. So once you got that level, that tone arm level, and it's hanging a mil off your record, half turn equals 1 gram of downforce. Now, once I set up my stylus, I was good to go. Now, if you're really starting to get into your vinyl records and you want to get that stylus just right, you want to know what it is, maybe look at buying a stylus scale, and that will give you the perfect reading to make sure you've got that reading pretty good. I also highly recommend an anti-static brush. I rarely get pops and crackles. I keep my records clean and I use the brush before each play. But look, I'll put a description below, a link below where you can buy the scales so you can measure the downforce, the tracking weight of your stylus, and it does make life a lot easier. But look, the instructions are there. Don't be too afraid to do it. Now I'm going to give you my thoughts on the carbon stylus. So the P2 comes with the carbon stylus if you want to go there entry level. Look, the carbon stylus for the money does a pretty damn good job. If you're wanting to replace a very old stylus on your current turntable, and it's not a Rega, but you just want to replace the stylus, the needle, and you're wanting to keep the cost around that $70 to $90 range, take a look at this cart. In terms of sound, it has a full sound to it. To my ear, it's definitely trying to punch above its weight for the cost. I will say this, the bass is more prevalent than detail, but for the money, it's pretty much a winner. But look, it's still a soft sound. It's just trying to give you a full sound at a reasonable cost, and this is something you might want to look at. The suggested downforce for the carbon cartridge is 2 grams. Now onto the Nd3. Now the difference between the carbon and the Nd3, I had the carbon on for a good week. I listened for a week and I changed over to the Nd3. I lined it up. I was very careful at doing that, and you've got to get it right. Changing a cart, aka a stylus, is not just a quick little job. You've got to make sure you line it up properly. Now, once I had it set up, I noticed a sonic difference immediately. And this is where things start to shine more. And I'll say that again, it starts to shine. You'll get more openness and the music won't sound as flat. This is where instruments start to stand out more, and overall there's more rhythm in the sound. Now, Rega have still kept their type of sound. It is soft, however everything is quite balanced, but it's also quite full. By no means does it sound thin. And at this price, this is where you're starting to hear a lot more in the music. Now, if you're going to go with an Nd3 and you're wanting to upgrade your entry-level stylus, maybe look at the Nd3, go to a HiFi shop, and I'm sure if they've got a Rega there, they'll have an Nd3 connected, and have a listen. And what will also help is your phono preamp, because that amplifies the stylus as well. So hopefully it can give you everything you need. Now, as I mentioned at the start, Rega hand make everything. So the Nd3 is handmade by the Rega technicians. So overall, with the Rega P2, some might not like the manual change to 33 to 45. Maybe that's something Rega might change in the future. But at the same time, if you don't have a lot of 45s, well, you're not going to be changing it a lot. So also the RCA cables, some people might want to use their own RCA cables. But the other side to that is, well, you don't have to go buy RCA cables. They're there, they're ready to go. And I do like the fact that there's no grounding. You don't have to ground it. The unit is self-grounding, so I think that's a plus as well. And I do like all the finishes there. They're not just offering one color, it's 4 different styles. Now, I'm going to leave lots of links in the description below. I would love a follow or a like, but look, hi-fi, music, movies, it's there to be enjoyed. So enjoy it, have fun with it. But that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.